propaganda being spread that is like at the level of right after 9/11. And I find it disgusting that someone who is one of the most powerful people in this country would repeat right-wing talking points to diminish the incredible achievement of Zohran Mamdani.
Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup.
This is Ashley with Status Coup.
On the ground.
In Philadelphia.
Flint, Michigan. East Palestine, Ohio. Please support the leading independent news outlet on the ground.
Covering what the corporate media covers up.
Kirsten Gillibrand, we're outside.
Kirsten Gillibrand, we're outside.
We are louder than your lies.
We are louder than your lies.
Why did you show up today to protest in front of Kirsten Gillibrand's office?
I was deeply disturbed by her comments on Brian Lair, and I think it was shameful the way that she spoke about my colleague and friend Zohran Mamdani.
This is a very serious issue because people that glorify the slaughter of Jews create fear in our communities. The global intifada is a statement that means destroy Israel and kill all the Jews. These are the kinds of things that if Mr. Mamdani is elected our mayor, we'll need to assure all New Yorkers that he will protect all Jews and protect houses of worship and protect funding for not-for-profits. But I understand why people are concerned because of past statements. And so this is just an issue that I will work with him on for sure.
He was never out there saying globalize the intifada. He was asked about other people who used it. So just to be precise about what happened there, yes?
Well, as a leader of a city as diverse as New York City, with 8 million people, as the largest Jewish population in the country, he should denounce it. And that's it. Period.
I am New York State Assembly member
Emily Gallagher.
Emily Gallagher.
And I am a colleague and friend of Zohran Mamdani.
And I am a colleague and friend of Zohran Mamdani.
I know him to be an enormously peaceful person. I know him to be worldly, intelligent, and deep. And I know that he would never speak for other people without speaking to those people themselves. I was shocked by your performance on Brian Lair. You acted as if you were a victim. But in fact, you are one of the most powerful people in the United States of America. One thing that we've learned from this election is that there is an enormous amount of Islamophobia and propaganda being spread that is like at the level of right after 9/11. And I find it disgusting that someone who is one of the most powerful people in this country would repeat right-wing talking points to diminish the incredible achievement of Zohran Mamdani, our Democratic mayoral candidate. And I think it's really dangerous for someone of her stature to use that kind of language and to just react the way that she did to the whole conversation. I mean, in light of being corrected by Brian Lair about things she was accusing him of saying, she became hysterical. And it was so gross. And as a white woman, I really feel like I need to hold other white women to the line and tell them that when they are fighting Muslim New Yorkers, when they are fighting immigrants, when they are fighting people who want the very best things for this country, it is unacceptable. It is racism, and I refuse to let it go without saying something. The constituents in New York City that Zohran touched are your constituents too. And when you deride Zohran Mamdani, you deride every Democrat who voted for him in the primary.
Support this critically important on-the-ground reporting as a Status Coup member and get great perks. Become a member right here.
Zohran Mamdani is your colleague. How could you have never spoken to him? And how could you have never spoken to him about the war in Palestine when we know that he went multiple times to the Capitol to speak on it? It is a shame on all of us that someone with with privilege, power, and access to information. Choose instead to ignore all of that, to repeat right-wing Islamophobic talking points, play right into Donald Trump's playbook. This is despicable. I hope you feel shame, and I, for one, am looking for an apology to my colleagues and all Democrats who are fighting for peace, community understanding, multiculturalism, and saving our democracy.
And saving our democracy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She was basically talking about how this was like intifada, which is, you know, to see the way, and then she said that when you use that word, it's like a knife against the throat, and she was getting really worked up about it. And this is taking something that was a question asked to Zohran of many Islamophobic things that were asked to Zohran during his campaign, completely out of context and twisting it to make it sound like something else. And it was shocking to hear from a sitting U.S. senator who is a Democrat and who is actually responsible for a lot of the fundraising of the Democratic Party. And I think that really, you know, reveals a huge problem that we have in this country.
For sure, and you know, on Democrats, I mean, it's been not surprising for anyone who's been paying attention, but kind of wild to see the Islamophobia just come right out in the open, and
yes,
how scared they are
yes,
of having Zohran potentially in office, even though he was voted, you know, he won the primary overwhelmingly.
Yes,
from the populace, the voting population.
From the first. You know, just from the one ranks. We thought this was going to take weeks to determine who the winner was. And the reality is we knew before 11 p.m.
Yeah.
That's how overwhelmingly New Yorkers of all backgrounds, of all experiences, motivated to come out and vote. We saw more people vote in this election than probably any primary in New York City history. And it is shocking that there is that much contempt for left New Yorkers who simply want economic results and economic populist positions, for somebody to hate that so deeply that they begin to, you know, slander someone who she's supposed to be working with. Like, this is the thing that folks might not realize. Assembly members meet with federal counterparts all the time. We ask them for funding, we ask them for support, we plan policy and plan infrastructure together. This is something that's very, very important, and this is it's a real problem.
Absolutely, and I think it's, you know, a lot of people keep saying that, you know, this is kind of a referendum on the Democratic Party, and I think it's interesting. All we have heard for many years now is vote blue no matter who, and then suddenly there's someone in office who, you know, really has strong economic policies, and then that seems to not matter. And also, you know, those of us who have voted third party have been chastised for years about how it's our fault that Trump got in office. But now Cuomo's going to be, at this moment anyway, seems to maybe be running third party. Eric Adams is going to be running as an independent. I mean, I think it's kind of crazy that they have any support whatsoever at this point, given that history of, again, vote blue no matter who, and definitely don't ever vote.
Well, you know, this really recalls to me not the racism and the things that were said on Brian Lair, but this vote blue no matter who situation being suddenly not the case when it's a left politician really is an echo of the mayoral race that happened in Buffalo, where the popular candidate was a Democratic socialist, and there was massive organizing with Republicans to make sure that she didn't become the mayor. And I think it is really imperative right now for those of us who voted for Zohran and for those of us who are politically engaged, and even just those of us who are scared of Trump's America, that we stick together and we pay attention and we make sure that what happens is not something like that. Zohran worked extremely hard and walked all across this city, went to neighborhoods where people had not gone for decades, and actually connected with those communities, and those communities deserve their voices to be heard. And we cannot let this vote and this opportunity be stolen from us.
When Islamophobia is on the rise, what do we do?